Bob Donchez, Mayor, City of Bethlehem, and in 2005 I was a member of City Council. I was elected to City Council in 1995. Well, I grew up 2 blocks from the blast furnaces, right above the Bethlehem Steel Complex in the 60s and needless to say, 70s. At the height of Bethlehem Steel, there were 30,000 people working here in the city of Bethlehem at the Bethlehem plant. And then through the 80s and 90s, it dwindled down to about 3,500. But, you know, South Bethlehem was very robust. We had a very vibrant shopping center on the south side, 3rd Street South side. It was very robust. I mean, if you went down on a Thursday night, there were literally hundreds of people. At 3rd and Adams Street, where you have the strip mall of Rite Aid right now, that was actually a farmer's market, a huge market, a stone building, very impressive. And that's where police headquarters was. It was on the 2nd floor of that building. There were many markets, there were many food places, many restaurants, clothing stores. So for maybe about 5 or 6 blocks, you had a very vibrant shopping district, because that's before the days of the Lehigh Valley Mall. And today we know how retail's changing, that malls are dying in a sense. But if you went down on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you saw hundreds of people shopping on 3rd Street. And I remember that vaguely as a little kid. Bethlehem was a one-industry town like many other communities, and Bethlehem Steel, if you didn't have a relative or a family member working at Bethlehem Steel, that was very, very unusual. So it was an exciting time. Bethlehem Steel did a lot of good for the city of Bethlehem. The Bethlehem Water Authority, we have the best water, in my opinion, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and it's up at the Poconos. Our water comes 30 miles by a gravity system, and we distribute it to quite a few communities. So Bethlehem Steel was a very good corporate citizen, and we can't forget that. And unfortunately, you know, the company, you know, went bankrupt and closed, and now we have the opportunity to develop the site again. But it was an exciting time. But everyone was connected to the steel, directly or indirectly. The Sands was very important. I mean, obviously they built the casino, the garage, the hotel, and the retail center. What's disappointing to me as a member of council and now as mayor is that they didn't continue to develop the site. And I understand the economics and the dynamics, and their model today is much different than it was 10 years ago when we were going through the debate. Not really. I mean, you have a certain percentage of people that will always be against the casino. But if you go back and look at the transcripts of the debates going back 10, 11 years ago, people were predicting high crime and prostitution and everything else, and that never happened. The fact that you bring in 10,000 people a day to the casino on an average, our crime rate, we are one of the safest cities in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We just got that award a month ago again. So, you know, I think it's been an asset because it does provide basically 3,000 jobs for people, and it provides benefits for people. We can't forget that. And it's very important to the economy of Bethlehem and the whole Lehigh Valley. My hope is that, you know, Wind Creek will develop the 130 acres. It's continue, you know, it's important to develop the site. They floated the idea that they would consider maybe a indoor water park in the number 2 shop. Now that's not a final decision. That was just one idea. Other ideas that are being studied for that building. But again, I think it's very important, since this would be their largest casino, and they do want to make it a destination center to attract new people, because you don't know, 3 to 5 years, you'll probably have casinos in New York City, and the Asian market is about 20 to 25%. They'll lose that, so you need to bring new customers here, and building it out as a family center may be the right approach, but I'll leave that to them. I've had 4 meetings with Wind Creek, 2 on the phone and 2 in person, and they've been very positive meetings. I'm excited with the new leadership, and I'm hoping that Harrisburg approves it. But I also want Wind Creek to be involved on the south side. I want them to be involved in our public school system. We have an outstanding public school system led by Dr. Roy. I want them to be involved in Hispanic Center. I want them to be involved in the community. I want them to be very good corporate citizens. Well, I think on the south side, my goal is, and we have started it, is to really develop the south side. You could see 3rd Street changing with a new office building and a new apartment complex, and the second apartment complex will start construction next month. And I have to give a lot of credit to my good friend, President Simon of Lehigh University, and the Board of Trustees, because President Simon and I work very closely together. We've become very good friends, and he and the board made a very bold move to move offices off campus into the heart of the South Side when they committed to go into the building at 3rd and New, along with St. Luke's, and I'm going to give Rick Anderson a lot of credit on that. And I think and building the College of Health, which will start this month. But I think you'll see, there's a very good chance you'll see Lehigh coming more into South Bethlehem. By really making South Bethlehem a college town, you're going to see more apartments built, and you're going to see that 130-acre site developed. And I can't get into details, but it's going to be. I think if you come back in 5 to 10 years, you're going to see additional development that you'll be very surprised.